Welcome back to Own the Shift. If you've been journeying with me, then you know that this ain't surface work. This is soul work. You've faced your fears, you've named your wounds, you've disrupted patterns that weren't serving your purpose. But now we're shifting from healing into building. Because what's the point of healing if you're just going to walk about into the same environment that made us sick? Today, we talk about designing a life that actually fits you, not the one that was handed to you. Nope, nope, nope. Not the one that made you shrink. Nope, nope, nope. But a life that reflects your truth, your joy, and your becoming. You don't have to contort your life to fit the old roles. You're allowed to custom build a life that honors who God is making you into. So let's get into it. Let's keep it real. That's a phrase that we use in various facets of our life. But let's keep it real. Most people aren't really living, they're maintaining, keeping it together just enough not to fall apart, functioning but not flourishing, breathing but not building, existing but not evolving. It's like life has become this constant loop. Wake up, scroll, rush to work, numb through meetings, zone out on your lunch break, get home drained, crash, repeat. No wonder you feel stuck. No wonder you feel like you're losing your fire. That's not life, that's autopilot. That's survival mode dressed up as success. And here's the truth that hurts before it heals. If you don't design your life, someone else will design it for you. And they'll build it to benefit their priorities, not your purpose. Culture will hand you a template and call it ambition. Church will sometimes hand you roles and call it identity. Family will project their fear and call it wisdom. And you'll wake up one day realizing that you've built a life that looks right for everybody else, but feels completely wrong to your soul. You weren't made to just repeat routines, you were made to reveal glory. Mm, that's a breathable moment. Let that thing stand up in you. You were made to reveal glory. You weren't put on earth just to make it to Friday. No, you were called to make an impact with your Monday. Let's be clear. You're not lazy. You're not crazy. You're craving alignment. And it's not your fault that you were stuck in survival. But it is your responsibility to choose something better now that you know. You were made to design your life, not just survive it. Let's do this exercise. I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Seriously, pause. Take a breath. Forget the bills. Forget the pressure. Forget what's realistic. Forget what they told you was possible. Let it all go just for a minute. Now I want you to picture one day in your life that truly feels like you, not the highlight reel you post for likes, not the survival mode version you've learned to tolerate, but the real, authentic, divinely aligned life that your soul knows exists. What time do you wake up? Not when your alarm screams, but when your body naturally rises, rested and at peace. What does the room feel like? Is it soft and sunlit? Is there music playing, plants growing, peace flowing? Do you stretch, pray, breathe deep, or sit in stillness before the world starts speaking? Hmm. With your eyes still closed, now walk into that day. What's the pace of your life? What are you creating, contributing, connecting to? Who's around you? Who's pouring into you, not just pulling on you? What kind of conversations are you having? Shallow small talk? Or deep soul exchanges? What does your body feel like? Not just your health, but in harmony. Are you anxious and rising? Or are you grounded and joyful? Here's the most important part. What do you feel in your spirit? Not just your schedule. Do you feel peace, purpose, presence? Do you feel like you belong in your own life? That right there, that feeling is the compass. That's not fantasy. That's alignment calling you forward. That's what God's been waiting to co create with you. So don't rush back to reality just yet. I want you to sit in that vision, breathe it in. Let your future self whisper, we're already on our way. Don't stop now. Wow. Okay, you can open your eyes for those of you who were obedient. I know some of you was like, I'm not closing my eyes. But with that feeling, I want you to write this question down and then you can answer it. What does my ideal day feel like? Not what does it look like, but what does it feel like? Because here's the truth, my friend. Your feelings are not fluff, they're guidance. And if your life feels consistently heavy, that's not a sign to toughen up. That's a sign, my friend, to tune in. That was part one. Let's transition into part two, getting honest about what we want. Designing a life that fits starts with radical honesty. And let me be real with you. Here we go, being real again. That part is hard. Not because we don't want truth, but because truth costs more than pretending. We've been programmed to want what others want. We've been discipled by culture more than by conviction. From the time we were children, we were taught to follow the script: go to school, get a job, get married, buy the house, climb the ladder. And somewhere in that climb, we've lost ourselves. We started chasing what gets applause, not what brings peace, because applause is loud. Peace is quiet. And in a world addicted to noise and validation, quiet often feels like failure. So we choose performance over purpose. We stay in rooms where we're praised but not seen. We succeed at things that we were never called to, and we wonder why we feel so empty when we win, quote unquote. But here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. If you have to betray yourself to belong, if you have to silence your soul to keep the peace, if you have to shrink to stay accepted, that's not a life that fits. That's a life that's fitting you for a cage. And cages, beloved, no matter how comfortable, are still captivity. So let me ask you gently but directly, what do you really want? What do you really want? Heaven is listening, the universe is listening, your soul is listening. What do you really want? Not what looks good on paper, not what makes your parents proud, not what gets you the most likes. What do you want that would set your spirit free? You can't build a life that fits if you're lying to yourself about what you need. Mm. You can't walk in joy if you're still trying to earn your worth. You can't design something divine with materials made from fear. So here's your permission slip. You can want what God placed in your heart. You can change your mind. Oh, yes, you can. You can outgrow the dream you once thought was a goal because peace doesn't come from arriving, it comes from aligning. We learned that a couple lessons ago with who God made you and who He's still shaping you to become. We used to testify that He's brought me a mighty long way, but the truth of the matter is He's still bringing me. He's still bringing you. So here's the question that shook me to my core. What do I want that I'm afraid to admit? Uh, Now that sounds impressive. Not what sounds impressive, not what looks good on the resume or fits into someone else's timeline, but what your soul has been whispering when everything else goes quiet. Because sometimes what you want doesn't make sense on paper. It makes sense to your spirit. And sometimes peace, my friend, is the loudest confirmation God will give you. So let me say this to you slowly. What do you want that you've been too scared to speak out loud? For you, maybe it's quitting the job that keeps your bills paid but kills your joy, or the one that looks stable from the outside but feels like slow death on the inside. Maybe it's starting the business that's been living in your notebook and in your dreams, not because it's the safe move, but because it's a sacred move. Because obedience doesn't always look secure, but it's always opening something. Maybe it's saying yes to love again. Mhm. Maybe after the heartbreak, even after the betrayal, maybe God is healing you through relationship, not after it. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's finally saying no to someone or something you've been tethered to out of guilt. Maybe it's choosing to walk away from chaos, even if you have to walk alone. Maybe what you want is silence in a world that won't stop talking. Maybe it's stillness in a culture that rewards constant hustle. Maybe it's a life of less, but filled with more meaning. That's the thing. Sometimes your desire will offend people's expectation. Sometimes your freedom will confront their fears, but you were never created to live on a script. written by someone else's insecurity. Here's something else that I want you to write down. It's a tool that I want you to use. I will not apologize for wanting what brings me back to life. You need me to say it again? I will not apologize for wanting what brings me back to life. Because anything that leads you into alignment, into peace, into joy, it's not selfish, it's sacred. So here are tools. I want you to ask yourself, what am I no longer available for? Number two, what drains me, bores me, or makes me go numb? You got those two questions? What am I no longer available for? What drains me, bores me, or makes me go numb? And then now I want you to flip it. Let your no more lead you to your yes, Lord. Mm. Let your no more lead you to your yes, Lord. You don't have to justify the joy you desire. You just have to stop blocking it. You don't need permission. You don't need to earn it. Joy is not a luxury, it's part of your birthright. So now that we've gone through step one and two, let's build now. Because listen, freedom without structure is chaos. And this next version of your life, it needs a blueprint. There are four systems that will keep your life aligned, not just inspired. Because let's be honest, that's the theme of tonight. Inspiration without structure leads to burnout. You don't just need breakthroughs, we need blueprints. And alignment isn't built in one big moment, it's built in small sacred systems that work when your motivation does it. System number one, morning rituals. We've got to set the tone for our day before the world sets it for us. The first voice you should hear should not be your notifications. Start your day by tuning into the spirit, not just the scroll. I know, got to get to Facebook and see what's going on. Got to get to Instagram and see what's going on. Got to get to our emails. Got to get to the news. Wake up and turn on the TV immediately. What is your spirit saying? Whether that's through prayer or grounding your day in divine guidance, whether it is through stretching or movement, waking up your body with care, it might even be journaling, unloading your mind and receiving clarity. What was being downloaded to you in your sleep? You've got to get that out of your mind, out of your body, and put it down on paper. Maybe it is just stillness or breath work, creating inner peace before the world feels it. Why does it matter, Jason? I'm glad you asked. You're not just waking up, you're positioning yourself. When you start with intention, you move through the day with authority, not anxiety. So I want you, the application is to set a 10-minute non negotiable ritual tomorrow morning. Don't touch your phone, touch your soul. Got it? Number two, Energy audits. Track what fuels you and what fails you. Every week, you've got to ask yourself, what energized me this week? What drained me this week? What felt life giving? And what felt like slow death? Your energy tells the truth even when your mouth doesn't. And just because you can handle something doesn't mean you should carry it. Let me say it again. Just because you can handle something doesn't mean it's yours to carry. Why does it matter? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Over time, ignoring your energy creates dis-ease. But tracking your energy teaches you discernment because alignment isn't just about what's good, it's about what's good. Here's the application. In your journaling, on a piece of paper, however you want to do it, create two columns: energizes versus exhausts. You got to do more of the first and set boundaries around the second. We got that? You need that instruction again? Two columns. Divide the paper in half. Energies, exhausts. The goal is to do more of the first, what energizes you. And the goal is to set boundaries around what exhausts you. Number three, we're almost done tonight. Boundaries that bless you. Guardrails to your peace. Boundaries aren't selfish. Said this earlier tonight. They're sacred. They protect your assignment, your mental health, and your access to peace. Say yes to what builds your spirit, honors your time, reflects your values, feels like purpose, not pressure. And say no to guilt driven obligations, manipulative relationships. Yeah, I said it. Spirit draining environments. I'm looking right at you. Why does it matter, Jason? You can't become what God called you to be while managing everyone else's expectations. Your peace is proof of divine permission. Here's the application. This week, practice saying, let me pray on that before giving an automatic answer. Come on, let's say it together. Let me pray on that. Let peace, not people pleasing, be your guide. The last one before we go to our closing: weekly joy appointments. You've got to schedule the sacred. Joy just doesn't show up. You have to make room for it. We plan for our work, we plan for our errands, we plan for our meetings, we plan for our meals. But when was the last time you scheduled something just because it made you feel alive? That walk, that painting session, that playlist, that massage, that dinner with someone who gets you, that mani pedi, all those things. Schedule it. Here's the application. Block 1 hour this week for unproductive joy. Put it on your calendar and protect it, my friend, like it's holy, because it is. Joy isn't a bonus, it's a requirement for sustainability. Because when joy goes missing, purpose starts to feel like punishment. You don't need a life overhaul. You need a life alignment. Not hustle, not hype, just small, holy choices that make your life a reflection of the healing and hope you've already been walking through. This isn't about having it all figured out. It's about building a rhythm that supports your becoming. So don't wait for the next burnout to reset. Build a life that fits now. One boundary, one breath, one joyful yes at a time. You don't have to keep living a life that feels like a costume. You don't have to apologize for outgrowing what you used to settle for. This week, I want you to create your life that fits vision board. However, if you have one that's on the wall or a collection of stuff that you have in a folder, be it digital, physical, whatever works. But make sure it's rooted in how you want to feel, not just in what you want. Let it reflect your becoming. Let it honor your healing. Let it mirror, be a mirror of joy that you're ready to receive. Wow, our time went fast tonight. Drop a comment below. Tell me what's one shift you're making to build the life that fits you. Listen, in our next episode, we're diving into faith, how to trust the process when fear is yelling, when timelines feel unclear, and when you're walking with God in the dark. Until then, design with intention, live with courage, and remember, you're not just surviving the shift, you're building something beautiful on the other side. You are the architect of your joy. And trust me, it's time to build. Design the life that fits. Why? Because you're worthy of it. Have a great one.